It is the 2nd of July, 2023. This is WIKISPEED Standup. Go ahead, Lauren.
It's Lawrence Salter, Gabriel Island, British Columbia, Canada. And the past week, nothing really more than I looked at Trello today. Kind of looked it over. I added a couple of things, and I did think of the idea of switching the day, because this day was, for the editing people, it was kind of the only time they had. And so that's kind of it. I was, coming week, I want to just do Trello and the, as same as before, Trello and the level sensor, and do a little reading on Ross. And blocks are, I was in Vancouver from Friday on. And so that's why I think the midweek might work, because but it varies. So so blocks are other things, other projects. Like I said, I bought a MacBook Air, and that's been turned into a Google Chromebook, and I set that up. So I should even no matter where I am, I may be getting a data stick for it. So I'm trying to stay connected so I can carry on with the WIKISPEED stuff. And that's it for that.
Okay. It is Michael Wolchuk in Saskatoon. I got nothing done this week. I tried to post for 2 weeks ago, and for some reason Jitsi recorded it as audio only. So I'm trying to get it converted to an MP4, and so far I've not been very successful with that. I have used my tank level. It is giving me rather sporadic results, which I'm not all that happy about. But I'm looking into it, and I got no new videos on anything. Next week, still looking for doing stuff on Sunfounder. Ross, I've been listening to videos from a couple of podcasts, and it sounds like their Ross 2 is gaining momentum, but I still think it makes sense to get it working with Ross 1 first. Nothing on the makerspace, nothing on the knitting machine that I'm going to be able to get to. But I did add another task. What did my task? Oh yeah, my wife is trying to print some stuff out, and the ads are getting in the way. So I'm going to take one of the Raspberry Pis I've got and load up Pi-hole for her, so that she can use the Wi-Fi access point to print out recipes or whatever it is that she's trying to print out that aren't printing out very well. No blocks that you can help with. I'm doing lake stuff, trying to get stuff done to a point where we can actually have some people over and not have to do work while they're here. And I guess that's about it for me.
Okay, I'll give myself a 5, team a 7, and process improvement. It's actually a little more focused on tidying up Trello, and then looking at the website and looking at how we might promote the project. One thing I thought of, maybe we'll talk into crosstalk, is to do a, some kind of animation of what it would look like. Could that be easy enough not to distract us from everything else, not to get pulled down a rabbit hole? That's it for me.
Okay. I didn't get anything done. I actually added to my list of stuff, so I'm gonna say 0 out of 4 is what I tried to get done for the week.
You showed up.
And pardon me.
You showed up eventually. We
Yeah,
both showed
I
up.
showed up, so that's gonna give me 1 out of 10. So I guess that's where I am. Team, I'll agree with 7. And the process of improvement is basically trying to keep Trello up to date. Now, that's not very hard when we're not doing anything. Um, so you said you wanted to do an animation. I didn't understand what you wanted to do an animation of.
Yeah. So, of the LRW,
Oh,
one of the applications.
okay.
Now, when we get to that point with Ross, and I guess we're into crosstalk.
Oh yeah, I guess we basically
You know,
stopped.
I'm okay on. I guess I'm okay
Okay,
on, or I'll say if I'm not.
sure.
Uh, just seeing if I can turn this around. I can't. I was going to talk while I just show the. This is the ferry terminal. That's Gabriel Island.
So your audio is pretty bad. I think you said it's the ferry terminal at Gabriela.
It's actually at Nanaimo to go to Gabriola,
Oh,
and
okay.
I was pointing. Um, I can't see the picture very well, but you should see behind me. You
Yep.
should see Gabriel, the white. There's sort of some white cliffs there.
Okay, that's Gabriela.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm turning that off because my battery's not that great.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was now I was thinking if we get to the point of doing the Ross simulation,
Hmm.
then that could be made into a video.
Oh yeah,
Either just
easily.
yeah. So that's like dual. That's got a dual thing. Then we get into Ross, and then we get an animation. So there's no point in doing it in anything else. But
Okay.
we could try and get a release of one of maybe I'll put a card up. Uh, you know, move along with Ross to the point of having a simulation, uh, some kind of simulation that could be shared.
Okay. And just to make sure that we're on the same page, we're looking at 2 drive wheels and a caster at the back as our initial Little Red Wagon, or are we going for the 2 steerable wheels at the front and the 2 drive wheels at the back?
What's easier?
I've gotten so far into it, I can't even tell you. I'm assuming because most of the kits that I see are 2 drive wheels with a caster, I'm going to say that that's probably easiest to build in terms of hardware. But we have the Sunfounders that are steering and drive wheels, so maybe we should stick to that. What do you think?
Yep. Yeah. I'm thinking the Sunfounder. Then the idea is we could do a simulation, and then when we get to the point of actually doing it, it'd be fun to just show the simulation and then show the real thing.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense. The flexibility of the Sunfounder with like it can't turn all that sharply. So having the simulation will let us kind of tune it a bit, I think,
Yeah.
for trying to follow someone. I believe following someone's probably the first thing we're going to try and do.
Yep.
Still
Yeah,
don't know
definitely.
whether it's still don't know whether it's going to be video or ultrasonics or some sort of a badge that lights up in the camera or what, but we'll figure it
Uh,
out.
would having two things complicate it terribly, or uh,
Don't understand.
what would having an ultrasonic and a video?
Ultrasonic is just going to give us the distance.
Right.
We only have one camera, so we can't really get distance off the video. So I think those are kind of complementary.
Yeah, and I was thinking that because we're doing the static lidar on the tank level and getting that experience, I was thinking there would be a static LiDAR. That either we can kind of turn slightly to the right or left, or I always had the thought that the the whole wagon could point one way and point the other. It's in a kind of a turtle-like way to just look where it's going. And
Well, the Sunfounder has a pan and tilt camera on the front,
okay,
so you can steer it left and right, and you can turn it up and down. So if the lidar was pointing in the same direction as the camera, um,
right.
you'd probably get a distance to the middle of whatever it is you're looking at.
Well,
That if the
yeah.
object wasn't very big, it might not tell you something is close, I guess.
So,
Um,
are you saying that you can put the LiDAR, you can mount it on the camera or on the housing for the camera?
I think you can mount it on the same thing that the camera's mounted to,
Yeah, yeah,
the
cool.
little,
That's
the little
really cool.
bracket.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean, it's going to look ugly, but I think it should work okay.
yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and then in multi, what would be a simple way? Not, we don't want like an averaging or something like that. It's maybe one has precedence, but if the one is, I don't know, like something like if the one is giving conflicting things, then you go to the other, something like that.
I have, or I think at least I think I have a demo of trying to find like a red ball on the video,
Uh-huh.
and then it gives you the X and Y coordinates for the location, so you can use that for turning, and then it
Right,
gives you a size. So you kind of, if you know how big the ball is, you can kind of tell how far you are away from it.
right.
Um, but I don't think that we have any way of tying the lidar into it. LiDAR might just start out as showing a number on the video.
Uh,
I'm not
from
sure.
watching the LiDAR, from watching the Ross videos,
Hmm.
my impression is there is some stuff available for integrating multiple sensors.
Oh, for sure. Ross will let you do multiple sensors for sure. Um, and that's one of the things it does well because it has a way to interface to most lidar and most ultrasonics and a lot of off-the-shelf parts that people use when they're doing research projects. Um, they're part of Ross, and you just pick them from a menu.
Yeah, so um, I'm thinking our root thing that we want to get to is uh, first of all, yeah, some me to do some more tank levels, so we have cases both there and here, and me being less literate with electronics. So that's one thing, and then the second thing is maybe this, uh, getting to the point of a simulation, uh, whatever, just those two things, and then at that point, I'm happy with kind of inviting other people, and maybe then we would get some skills, people with skills that could move us ahead, even 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 if something we did was fairly rudimentary.
Oh, rudimentary is fine. That lets
Yeah.
people get something working and build on it. That I think that's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. Sounds like a plan.
yeah. I love making things complicated for some reason, but minimum viable product, getting something working is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and then the other thing is, of course, the Trello, so they can we can include them right away and they can see
Hmm.
what's there. And then with that, I'm willing to like bring other people in, try and publicize or reach out.
Okay. Alrighty. Anything
Now,
else you
do
want to talk about?
you want to talk about the day of the week? You threw out a couple of things, but it might work faster to just talk back and forth.
Well, Tuesday I'm kind of busy. Most weeks. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday seem okay. Friday will often be driving to the lake, so maybe not. Do you have any favorite day?
I don't have much things. I often have things on Monday nights and Wednesday nights. So Tuesdays or Thursdays seems good to me.
Okay, well,
I think we should try not a weekend.
okay,
I think
well,
we're not.
yeah, we're having trouble with weekends. So if we go back to Thursday, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah,
You want to leave it at 6 o'clock, or you want to go earlier?
I like the 5 o'clock because it's more neutral. And if we get people from the east, I think that was one of the things that people dropped off before that it's night. It was 9 p.m. Sunday night, and
Hmm.
uh, it, you know it, you have to try and compromise. So
Okay,
5 is 8 p.m. Eastern,
okay,
5 Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and yeah.
okay.
So I'm that kind of works for me. I could go even earlier, but you're still kind of doing the part time thing, right? With
Yeah, but even earlier would work for me. I could make it work. Like 5 o'clock your time is 6 o'clock my time right now, and then in the winter it's 7 o'clock my time. So um, we could
yeah,
go.
I tend to. I always want to get out early in the day exercising, but I usually don't get out till 2 or 3. So five is actually going to work for better for me. So
Okay.
I think 5. So if you can change the way you did before,
Yeah.
like permanently change the thing, and
So change all the
um,
ones going forward, right?
yeah, and let's let Joe know, and I, I'll reach out to Joe once you change it. I'll send him, I'll forward it to him, and I'll tell him that what we're thinking in terms of recruiting more people and bringing it back.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
So are we done? Because I got to stop recording before we hang up.
I'm done.
Okay. I'm just going to hit the button here and hit stop recording.
Yeah. So are you doing stuff tomorrow, or because like I went to a Canada Day thing at Kitsilano Beach in Vancouver.
Hmm.
That's a really popular beach. There were tens of thousands of people there. It was like, and everyone was saying, "I've never seen anything like it." And have you ever heard of this? Internet went out. Nobody could get internet because there were tens of thousands of people on this
That
beach.
um, at the lake here on July and August long weekends, we will go from you can bring up like YouTube and you can
Right,
stream. Okay.
right.
Um, on any other time. Right now, I went and actually went to pick up something that we found on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And in the 10 minutes it took me to drive to the address, it Facebook would not update the list of things that were for sale on Marketplace. So, and I believe that's about a K, maybe two.
Yeah,
So,
right.
it's absolutely insane. Everybody comes to the lake with their smartphone and they're trying to do whatever it is they're doing. They're streaming, they're using the internet, and the hardware here just can't take it. Now it sounds like yours actually stopped and rebooted itself. Ours didn't do that, but it is just it's the internet's unusable if
I
you're
think
on a
the
cell phone.
cell tower was overloaded, the single cell, because the phone wouldn't work either. So
Oh wow! So
the cell tower was overloaded because there was tens of thousands of people, and there was lots going on, and people were filming it. So a DJ came and said, and he put up this giant speaker that was about 4 feet by 2 feet
mm-hmm.
on a pole. But later he pulled it down, and while people were dancing, he ran around holding this battery powered speaker, which made people go crazy. He would run through the dancers, and and so everybody was videoing it. So it was like, uh, the most people I've ever seen, and everyone was also saying that no one had seen a crowd like that in 5 years. Of course,
Our Canada Day thing up here at the lake, so they had a pancake breakfast last year, and they got like 100 or 110 people or something like that.
right.
This year, they didn't run out of food, but they ran out of plates. They ran out of juice for the kids, like Tang. They ran out of forks. Um, so people that had volunteered to be serving the stuff were running back to their cabins and their golf carts and quads and stuff, and picking up everything that they could find, serviettes, that kind of stuff, because there were so bloody many people. Um, there was a lineup to get the pancake and sausage that was like 50 people deep for like 2 hours. It was insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I think that maybe was repeated across the country.
I believe we have somewhere on the order of 250 people that, like, if everybody shows up, maybe it's
Yeah,
300 people that live part time here up here at the lake, and
right.
there had to be over 1,000 people going through that breakfast. So
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Our tourist thing has been really busy too. It's a there's a festival called Cultivate Festival this weekend. So there was, oh yeah, and I helped with an art installation. So this guy did a Canada Day, fairly somber, serious Canada Day art installation. It was 70 small tables, like little coffee tables, even smaller, like just under a meter by half a meter, or by,
okay,
and there were 70 of them, and he had put it all together. I went to help with. I sort of knew about it, and there were some other people going. And he had photographs going back, right, like to about the 60s, and just all kinds
wow,
of things. He had a picture of Pierre Trudeau, because he was talking about reconciliation. So he was talking about the green paper that Pierre Trudeau and Jean Chrétien did, that that spawned pretty much the whole Indigenous thing, because they were so angry, because the paper said that they should just become like everybody else, and that generated just a huge kind of movement
backlash.
again. Yeah, there's a picture of him at that time with a kid under his arm, which I don't know if it's Justin or one of the other kids. So that was one, and he was also clever because it was like, um, so there was 10 tables in one direction. He actually has 144, but he fell asleep, so he only ended up with 70, 10 by 7. He couldn't. He had to get some sleep, so he couldn't finish all of them. But there's 2 of each picture, so it's like the game concentration.
Oh yeah, except really big.
Yeah, it was. Um, they were, so I'd say 2 meters for each row, because there was some spacing.
Hmm.
So it was like 20 by
It was big.
uh, 30 meters. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So
I haven't hit stop yet, because
yeah.
we okay, we kind of, we were going to stop it, and then we just kind of kept talking, so I didn't
Oh,
hit the
okay.
button yet. Um,
It's fine. It's fine. I think it's okay.
okay,
I don't have any objection to it going public. So
okay,
do it now.
okay. I'm going to hit stop.